This is The Flower of Freedom by Deborah J. Reeves, and I'm Deborah Reeves. I wrote this book, and all the rights to the book and to my presentation of it are reserved. But what isn't reserved is our appreciation of you. Thank you for being here. It's never the same unless you come. We're glad you're here. We're on chapter 63, and that's called Strategy. After Michaud had hung up the phone, he turned to Suzette and Marie and said, "Only 5 can come. There's no space for the others this time. We must leave the others behind to provide cover. The rooms are paid for. Who do we leave? How do we make them understand?" Suzette spoke up. "I can help Nicole and Bianca understand the situation without telling them too much." Michaud responded, "Best to keep the circle small. Don't tell Bianca, just Nicole. She knows us too well. She'll guess that something's up." "Okay, I think the natural other choice is Joseph or me. I'm willing to stay behind to protect all of you. It's only a few days, and we'll all be together again when we get back to school." "I don't know, Suzette. I know that keeping Joseph in the dark is a mistake. He's smart and he's intuitive, and he'll know something's up. He's one of my closest friends, and I must tell him. I should have told him before now, but I thought I was protecting everyone. Why don't we let him decide? Could you go back to Bertie's room and send Joseph back, and when he goes back before you all go to lunch, he'll send Bertie in. Go ahead and make fun of me. I don't want Bertie thinking I'm contagious, and my ego will recover," he said with a wink. So Suzette went to Bertie's room and asked Joseph to go and see Michaud. "I left Marie there to keep him calm, but neither of us think it can possibly be much. He has no temperature, so it's not likely to be an infection. Maybe he's just a wimp." Joseph gave her a dirty look that could have withered a plant, and he left the room. When Joseph knocked on the door, Marie opened it and grabbed him by the wrist to hurry him in. Michaud sat there grinning, looking fit as a fiddle. "What?" started Joseph. Michaud explained that everything that was happening in a few sentences. "I knew something was up," Joseph declared. "You're not a very good actor, but you know who is? That's Suzette. You're going to have to apologize to her because I just gave her a sharp look of contempt for questioning your motives. If only 5 can go, I'll stay behind. There are good reasons for this. We keep the issue contained if only I know. I can keep an eye on the creep and look out for everyone else. I know your father's contact numbers, too, so I can alert him if anything happens. This is Thursday, and we fly back on Sunday night. It's not that long." "Not to mention that Nicole is staying," said Michaud wryly, and Joseph proved that he too was a terrible actor. "That's settled then. I'll tell Nicole and Bianca. We better leave and go for lunch with the others to maintain some sense of normalcy if Hans is looking. I'll have the kitchen send up a tray of sandwiches and some drinks. Is that okay?" "I love those crab sandwiches that they do," said Michaud. "You're supposed to be sick, remember?" Joseph told him. "Don't alert Bertie. He's smart." Leaving Bertie in the room with Michaud, the rest of them went to the restaurant in the lodge for lunch. Marie stopped one of the servers on the way in and asked for a platter of sandwiches and 2 soft drinks to be sent to the room number scribbled on the note paper she handed over. "Please make sure there is at least one of the sandwiches has the crab filling. Oh, and maybe add a plate of pastries," she instructed. The group took a table near the windows. That was a good thing, as it turned out. Bianca and Nicole sat with their backs to the windows, while Joseph, Marie, and Philippe sat facing the patio and the slopes. The conversation around the table was jovial and inclusive. Heads swiveled to listen and respond to people around them. They were the picture of carefree youths on vacation. Maybe acting is in their blood, Marie thought. Not long after that, after they were all seated, Marie froze up and grabbed Philippe's hand under the table. He looked up with surprise, and he looked where Marie was focused. It was a middle-aged man on the patio. He had brown hair and blue eyes. He looked just like Bertie. He was searching across the snow-covered terrain for something or someone. And then a little girl came stomping up to the patio. The girl with the rainbow cap was scowling. She had graduated from the Bunny Hill finally, and it was her first morning on the real slopes with her parents and her brother. Her brother always got his way, she fumed internally. She hated athletics. She hated the snow. She wanted to be home with her cat and her books, but they always had to do what Henri wanted. She had tried, and she had gotten a face full of snow for her efforts. After she had begged, her father agreed that she could go back to their room and warm up. She had a new book in her suitcase, and she would be very content until they came back for lunch in an hour. "What can possibly go wrong, Papa?" she had wheedled. "We're on the backside of nowhere in an enclosed resort. You must stop thinking of me as a baby. I'm 12 years old." And with that, she huffed off in the direction of the lodge. Her mother watched her go until she almost reached the lodge. That's the end of chapter 60. We're delighted that you've come.